Hey, Steelers Nation. We're back with an exclusive video packed with the latest updates on our beloved Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll never miss any exclusive updates or exciting Steelers news. The NFL universe is currently buzzing with a storm of speculation that could completely reshape the league's hierarchy. And at the eye of this storm is none other than Joe Burrow, whose name has been synonymous with precision, poise, and an uncanny ability to elevate the game to a level few quarterbacks ever reach. Sources hint that Burrow has allegedly committed to a 3-year contract with the Pittsburgh Steelers, a team historically steeped in legacy and tradition, but recently craving a spark that could redefine its trajectory in the ultra-competitive landscape of professional football. Rumors suggest that this deal, reportedly structured to balance immediate performance incentives with long-term security, might be signaling a seismic shift not just for the Steelers' offensive scheme, but for the psychological landscape of the AFC, where every team now potentially recalibrates its strategy in response to the arrival of a quarterback whose presence alone could redefine matchups, draft priorities, and even the media narrative surrounding the league's premier contests. Leaving fans, analysts, and rival franchises alike caught in a web of anticipation and wild speculation that seems to intensify by the hour as whispers of locker room dynamics and coaching philosophies circulate with increasing fervor, suggesting a storyline that could dominate headlines for months to come. The implications of Burrow's alleged commitment to Pittsburgh are staggering when considering the interplay of talent, strategy, and market expectations that invariably accompany a player of his caliber. Insiders speculate that the Steelers, a team traditionally celebrated for its formidable defensive legacy, might now be attempting to construct an offensive juggernaut that pairs the precise, calculated throws of Burrow with a supporting cast whose composition could be tailored to exploit every weakness of divisional opponents. Analysts theorize that the synergy between Burrow's cerebral approach and Pittsburgh's often physical, disciplined style could create an entirely new archetype of team identity, one that blurs the lines between conventional offensive schemes and the increasingly analytics-driven strategies dominating modern football, prompting rival GMs and coaching staffs to reassess scouting priorities, draft strategies, and even in-game decision-making, as the potential of a quarterback capable of orchestrating such a complex offensive ecosystem could reverberate far beyond the confines of Heinz Field, influencing the league's balance of power and inspiring a wave of speculation about which franchises might seek complementary talent, trade assets, or even paradigm-shifting philosophies in response to this unexpected yet tantalizing development that fans across the country are struggling to comprehend without succumbing to feverish debate and endless rumor mill conjecture. Sources close to the situation suggest that the negotiation process itself was a delicate ballet of timing, leverage, and subtle maneuvering, with Pittsburgh executives allegedly deploying a mixture of persuasive rhetoric and carefully calibrated contract incentives designed to align Burrow's professional ambitions with the organization's long-term vision. The whispers indicate that discussions around guaranteed money, performance bonuses, and potential leadership clauses were intensely scrutinized, as both parties sought to create a framework that would ensure not only immediate competitive impact, but also a sustained influence on the team's culture, branding, and fan engagement strategy. Rumor has it that Burrow, known for his meticulous attention to detail and strategic acumen, approached negotiations with a mindset that transcended mere financial gain, instead evaluating how the Steelers' organizational philosophy, coaching staff, and player development pipeline could harmonize with his own approach to the game, suggesting that this alleged signing represents a confluence of personal ambition and franchise reinvention. The speculation surrounding how this partnership might manifest on the field has already generated a cascade of potential scenarios, each dissected endlessly by analysts, fans, and social media pundits, contemplating how play-calling tendencies, roster construction, and locker room dynamics could be reshaped overnight by the arrival of a quarterback whose reputation alone could shift expectations, morale, and the entire narrative arc of an already turbulent season. leaving a trail of conjecture that seems destined to dominate every conversation in the football sphere. Adding further fuel to the rumor mill, insiders hint that Pittsburgh's offensive roster might undergo a strategic metamorphosis to accommodate Burrow's skill set, suggesting a series of draft maneuvers, free agent pursuits, and coaching adjustments that could transform the Steelers into a team built around precision passing, situational awareness, and dynamic versatility, rather than relying solely on the brute force and traditional physicality historically associated with the franchise. Speculators argue that this potential evolution represents not only a tactical adjustment, but also a philosophical statement about how the team intends to compete in an era increasingly defined by rapid decision-making, advanced analytics, and the ever-expanding influence of quarterback performance on overall franchise valuation. Fans and commentators alike are reportedly buzzing with theories about how the integration of Burrow into this ecosystem could influence game outcomes, playoff trajectories, and even the psychological warfare between opposing locker rooms, creating a narrative that extends far beyond XS and OS and into the realm of cultural and strategic identity, where every audible snap and touchdown pass carries implications for the Steelers' brand, reputation, and perceived dominance, leaving no aspect of organizational planning immune to scrutiny or conjecture, and fueling endless discussion across digital platforms and sports media outlets, where each rumor generates exponentially more speculation, feeding the frenzy that surrounds one of the NFL's most electrifying potential moves in recent memory. Observers are particularly intrigued by the possible ripple effects of this rumored signing on divisional rivalries, as the Steelers' integration of a quarterback like Burrow could recalibrate competitive dynamics within the AFC North. Analysts have posited that teams such as the Ravens, Bengals, and Browns might be forced to reconsider defensive schematics, pass rush priorities, and even personnel acquisitions in anticipation of facing a quarterback whose combination of field vision, poise, and tactical adaptability could neutralize conventional strategies. Rumors suggest that coaching staffs are already theorizing countermeasures, experimenting with practice simulations, and reassessing draft boards to mitigate the perceived advantage this partnership could deliver. Fans, meanwhile, are engaging in a form of collective speculation that blurs the line between hopeful anticipation and strategic paranoia, dissecting every video clip, interview, and subtle organizational signal for clues about the Steelers' intentions. The discourse has reached such intensity that even casual observers are finding themselves immersed in hypothetical scenarios involving play-calling tendencies, situational tendencies, and matchup exploitation, highlighting the extraordinary magnetism of a quarterback whose rumored movement to Pittsburgh might not merely influence a season, but potentially reshape the narrative structure of an entire era of league storytelling, igniting a speculative firestorm whose consequences could echo for years, influencing everything from ticket sales and merchandise demand to media narratives and franchise valuation projections across the league. Finally, the chatter surrounding Joe Burrow's purported commitment to the Steelers has ignited a broader debate about the evolving role of the quarterback in the modern NFL. Pundits argue that this alleged signing underscores a trend toward quarterbacks as both cerebral field generals and organizational influencers, whose impact extends beyond the tangible metrics of yardage and touchdowns into the realms of culture, morale, and identity formation. Speculation abounds that Burrow's influence might inspire shifts in coaching philosophy, offensive innovation, and talent development strategies not only within Pittsburgh but across the league, as franchises attempt to emulate or counteract the perceived advantages this partnership represents. Analysts note that even subtle adjustments, such as timing routes, audibles, and quarterback-led huddles, could be magnified exponentially under a quarterback of his intellect and capability, creating cascading effects that alter defensive alignments, draft priorities, and in-game decision-making. Rumors continue to circulate regarding potential locker room dynamics, mentorship of young players, and the intangible leadership qualities Burrow might bring, prompting endless debate and speculation about the long-term trajectory of both player and franchise, with fans, insiders, and analysts all converging in a shared anticipation of what could arguably become one of the most intriguing, transformative, and endlessly dissected periods in modern NFL history, leaving the entire football world captivated by the swirling possibilities and high-stakes drama of what could be a defining moment in professional sports storytelling. As the swirling rumors about Joe Burrow's rumored 3-year commitment to the Pittsburgh Steelers continue to dominate headlines, speculation has intensified regarding how this potential partnership could redefine not only the team's identity, but also the broader dynamics of the NFL, with insiders hinting that the mere presence of a quarterback of his strategic acuity could influence everything from game-day decision-making to off-season roster strategies. Analysts suggest that the Steelers might adjust their offensive philosophy to fully capitalize on Burrow's ability to read defenses, anticipate movements, and execute high-risk, high-reward plays that challenge conventional defensive approaches. Whispers in the sports media indicate that veteran players may find themselves mentoring younger teammates under a more intellectually rigorous system, while coaches could be experimenting with playbooks that incorporate analytics-driven scenarios, tempo variations, and situational audibles designed to optimize every possession. Fans, meanwhile, are speculating wildly on social media, constructing potential game sequences, hypothetical victories, and playoff trajectories that would position Pittsburgh as an offensive powerhouse capable of redefining the balance of power in the league, prompting rival teams to consider preemptive adjustments in scouting, free agent acquisitions, and even coaching strategies. The excitement surrounding the speculation is palpable, creating an environment where every comment from team officials, every minor roster tweak, and even casual reports from insiders is dissected with intense scrutiny, fueling endless discussion and anticipation that seems destined to sustain itself for the foreseeable future. But before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and hit the like button on this video. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Pittsburgh Steelers. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Rumors further suggest that Burrow's rumored integration into the Steelers system could trigger a wave of strategic adaptations in other AFC North teams, each scrambling to counteract the potential advantage of a quarterback whose precision and field vision have long been recognized as elite. Analysts speculate that defensive coordinators might prioritize speed, versatility, and adaptability, experimenting with hybrid schemes designed to confuse quarterbacks who rely on timing and anticipation, while offensive coordinators and rival franchises could shift personnel allocations to reinforce run-pass balance, attempting to mitigate the threat posed by an opponent capable of exploiting every mismatch. Fans and commentators have begun engaging in hypothetical scenario planning, debating which receivers, tight ends, and running backs would benefit most from Burrow's presence, and how Steelers' offensive linemen might be tasked with creating a protective ecosystem tailored to facilitate high-pressure, high-reward plays. Speculation even extends to potential mid-season adjustments, with insiders suggesting that the coaching staff could rotate schemes, experiment with trick plays, or employ unconventional strategies designed to maximize the quarterback's unique abilities, creating a season narrative ripe with uncertainty, anticipation, and the tantalizing possibility of dramatic shifts in playoff positioning, all of which have fueled a rumor mill that shows no sign of slowing, as fans and media alike construct. Imagine scenarios that range from plausible tactical maneuvers to bold, almost cinematic season-defining outcomes. Adding to the intrigue, whispers surrounding contract structure and incentives hint at a meticulously crafted agreement designed to align Burrow's personal ambitions with the Steelers' long-term objectives, a union that could produce unforeseen consequences both on and off the field. Speculators suggest that performance-based clauses may not only dictate compensation, but could also influence decision-making, play selection, and leadership responsibilities, essentially integrating Burrow into the organizational framework as both a strategic and cultural force. Rumor has it that every nuance of the deal, from guaranteed money to leadership incentives, was meticulously negotiated to ensure alignment between player and franchise vision, reinforcing the narrative that this is far more than a conventional acquisition. It is potentially a transformative partnership capable of reshaping the ethos of the Steelers organization. Media outlets have reportedly exploded with discussion of what this means for franchise culture, with analysts projecting that the quarterback's approach to preparation, film study, and situational awareness could elevate team-wide standards, forcing coaches, players, and even front office personnel to adapt to a more sophisticated operational tempo. Fans, inspired by the possibility of witnessing an unprecedented organizational synergy, are already envisioning electrifying moments, improbable comebacks, and tactical masterstrokes that could define the narrative arc of the season, creating a swirl of speculation that blends practical analysis with imaginative storytelling, ensuring that the discourse around Burrow's rumored signing remains vibrant, intense, and endlessly compelling. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Pittsburgh Steelers, make sure to subscribe to Steelers Nation Central and give this video a like. We always look forward to hearing your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.